So, hello guys, I hope we are live. Hope you guys can hear me. Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. So, I think we can continue our learning. So, yesterday we were looking at switch statements and we completed switch statements, and then we had to move to the looping statements and we have to check out the for loop. All right, so I think we are good to go. So first, under for loop, here sigma 1 for loop. So basically, for loop, I think most of you know that allows you to repeat loop that allows you to repeat a block of code a specific number of times. So it just keeps repeating based on a given condition and widely used when the number of iterations is known in advance. Makes it easy to iterate over arrays, lists, or sequences, generate number series, and perform repetitive tasks efficiently. So, yeah. So, the easiest explanation would be if I go to, sorry, uh, just show you. For example, if if you had to print, say, hello world, you had to print hello world, but it's too small. I had to print this. If you had to print this two times, you had to just print this two times. You can just do see out, you know, hello world, and then again see out hello world, and then where you can give a handle. So this will print hello world two times, right? If you just wanted to print it two times, this is okay. But say, for example, what if you wanted to print hello world 100 times or 1,000 times? You can't write see out 1,000 times, right? That is not efficient. So that is where the for loop comes into picture. So you can give a condition here, and then inside that condition, you can say see out hello world, can just say one time. Don't have to do it. You don't have to write 1,000 times. And it will print this 1,000 times. So that is why for loop exists and it's very efficient in programming. So that is this basic explanation of for loop. Let's check how it actually works in the code. We check it here. Let's check this code. Uh, let's comment this out. Let's comment out. Right, let's send this. Right, let's so for loop syntax, I think it's the same as in C as well. For and then the condition inside the bracket. So when I equal to here they have given one. So it starts from index one and I less than or equal to let's say up till 10, I plus plus, C out, I and then print. So this is going to loop up till 10 and then print. So C out and then let's just return 0. All right. Uh, so our for loop is done. Let's just run this and see what happens. All right, let's apply it. Okay. All right, it's compiled now. Run it. All right, so we got the output. It loops up till 10 and it starts from 1. So yeah, here they are given up till 5. So it loops up till 5. What if we are given here instead of less than equal to just less than 10? It's just going to loop up till 9 instead of 10. There's no 5 and run it. Yeah, so it's gonna loop up till 9. All right, so that was a for loop, basic for loop. And this is the flow of for loop. So yeah, the initialization is first, and then the condition is checked, and then if the condition is true, it goes to the body of the for loop, whatever it has to be executed, gets executed, and then what happens is if false, then it goes straight to the statements outside the loop, right? And here it's just up like updating the values, right? Suppose if it is 5 plus plus, so it goes like to the next value for checking the condition. And again, this keeps moving over and over again until No, the condition becomes false. So that is the for loop. Um, drop drop a like and comment comment in the live chat if you have any questions. I'll be checking the live chat. So and like the video, guys, if you're watching. It helps reaching it to more people. So let's keep going. So three main parts: initialization, condition, and update. So that's what we talked about. Sets the starting point of the loop. Condition is checked before each iteration if through the loop executes. All right. So I think it's slightly different from Python. Um, so if you have experience with Python, you would know like it's something like you know it's uh, it's like for in range. That's the Python syntax for loop. Uh, Let me just show you that. Right? Let's check. So in Python, it's like for I in range, and then the range is given something like this. That's how it's in Python. So it's slightly different. Um, so it loops directly over an iterable and has two main parts, variable and iterable. Uh, so, yep. Types of for loops. Loops can appear in different forms depending on the programming language and the task being performed. The following are some common types of for loops. So, this is the basic for loop. As we just saw here, here it is I plus or equal to plus equal to. So it goes like I plus 2, right? So for each, that's the next type. For each loop is used to iterate directly over elements of a collection, such as arrays or lists, without using an index. So here I have initialized an array, numbers, and then for int numbers. All right, let's try this one. Right? So let's see out now. Yes. Let's check it out. I think I didn't save it. Let's save it. Yeah, we got the output. It looks up till 5. So for each. So that's a for each. For loop with multiple variables. Some languages like C, C++, and Java allow multiple loop control variables. In A for loop. So there's like this is like a special thing that exists only in certain languages. All right. So here I is initialized and J is initialized and I iterates up till 4 that is less than 5 and also here itself J also iterates. So J iterates backwards, I think. J greater than 0, right? J goes backwards. J minus minus. Yeah, as you can see here, J goes from 10, 9, and then so let's try this out. I think it's pretty clear what happens here. It's just that there is a two conditions. No, let's try that. Then here we say I less than greater than 0. So what J greater than 0 means here is J will iterate up till, you know, 1, not 1, not 1. Here J iterates up till, yeah. So both these conditions should be true, right? So J should be greater than 0, but also I should be less than 5. So, so it iterates up till only 6. J goes up till only 6. Because after that I becomes 5, right? So if I becomes 5, then J also like J is still greater than 0 only, but I becomes 5. So that condition is automatically false. Both the conditions should be true. So that's what happens here. I think if you have any questions, I think you can ask me in the live chat about this. Also, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel. If you're liking, if you're enjoying this live stream, Also, I would recommend you to code along with me if possible. That's the best way to learn. I think I plus plus, J minus minus, and see how we will I equal to, and then also we have to go with the J equal to print J. This done that. All right. I think we are good now. So let's run this. Save and run. Yeah. So we got the output here. So I think where this would be helpful is when we have to check two conditions simultaneously, like parallelly two conditions. I think that's where this kind of a for loop helps us. Um, yeah, so I think that's where it will play a role. Moving on to the next type of for loop. Next, it's infinite for loop. I think it's pretty obvious what happens here. It just keeps going until like infinity, you know, it just never ends because there's no condition. Yeah, you don't have to look at that. You know what happens there. Nested for loop. Nested for loop is a for loop inside another for loop. It is used for multi-dimensional data or when multiple levels of iteration are needed. Okay, so it's a for loop inside another for loop. Let's try this one. This almost looks like a matrix if you see, but yeah, it's just a nested for loop. Let's try out this one. Let's just try this nested. Right? So we have for loop here. Okay, let's just remove this. Let's say in our first condition, I less than 3, less than or equal to 3, plus inside that for loop, another for loop, or and j equal to 1, again from 1, and j is also less than or equal to 3. J again implementing j, and inside that I just do C out, split this inside here, C out, and just return. So that's a nested for loop. Let's check what happens. Right? Okay. It didn't print anything. I don't know what happened here. All right. Okay. We didn't see out here. It just did enter with. All right. Let's see how it works. Adding I multiplied with j, and then right, save that. Why did it just print 1, 2, 3? Surely something is wrong in it. Can you guys spot the mistake? Let's try again. Yeah, now we're good. So yeah, it just prints like this. Um, so how does this work? That is the most important thing here. I think nested for loop is probably like we will use it a lot of times, even while doing DSA. It's not very efficient because I think it takes more time than using just a single for loop, but still you might use it sometimes. So, let me know your questions, by the way, if you have any in the live chat. I'm not able to check them always, but I will be reading them as and when I can. So let me know them. Uh, What do we have here? So yeah, we have to try and understand how this works. So first, I think the first for loop executes, right? So this condition is checked, and then we have another for loop. So that is also checked, and then it goes inside both the for loops, right? So when I is 1, right, and I is, so it starts from I equal to 1 and I less than or equal to 3, so goes up till 3, right, and I is incremented. And also we are checking j, we are initializing new variable as well. So j is 1 and goes up till 3 as well. So yeah, both are there. And we are printing I into j. All right. So when I is 1 here, first condition, right? J is also 1. 1 will be printed, right? Because 1 into 1. Next condition, I is incremented. And then J will also be incremented. So that becomes 2 into 2, right? I becomes 2 here. And then when it goes here, then becomes J also becomes 2. Then that will be 2 into 2, which is 4. Hmm. So I guess, okay. I think first it works like this. So First, it goes inside this for loop, right? And then it goes inside this. And then it stops here until this condition becomes false, right? Until J is this condition. So it's keep looping inside here. So it prints I into J. So what happens here is basically we have I one only, right? First, and then J keeps incrementing up till 3. J alone changes. I is still 1. And what happens is like, for example, here, first we have I equal to 1, and we will have J is also equal to 1. And it goes inside this loop here. And after it goes in, I is still 1, but in the next loop, J is incremented, so J becomes 2, right? So I equal to 1, J equal to 2. So now what happens is output is I into J, right? So what gets printed is I into J, which is 1 into 2. Here output would be equal to 2, 1 into 2. So first iteration here 1 into 1 is still 1. Here 1 into 2 becomes 2, right? And the next iteration, what happens? Next iteration, again the same thing happens. Again the same thing happens, but here J becomes 3, right? So when J becomes 3, it's 1 into 3, 3, 3, right? So that's how first you got your 1, 2, 3. So now again, when this goes, now J becomes greater than 3, right? But we have J less than or equal to 3 is the condition. So J becomes 4. When J becomes 4, this condition becomes false. And it's going back to the outer loop, the main for loop we have here, right? Now it checks for this condition. What is I? I is only 1 still, but I can go up till where? I can go up till 3, right? So I is getting incremented now. And now again the same thing gets repeated. See, if you check here, what happens now when I becomes 2, what happens when I becomes 2? This condition, I becomes 2, then all this becomes 2, right? J is still gonna be the same only. 1, 2, 3 only will be coming. But I will become 2. So here all these becomes 2, right? All this becomes 2. So now again what will the output changes? So 2 into 1, 2 here, 2 into 2, 4 here, and 2 into 3 here becomes 6, right? So that's how we got 2, 4, 6. Now again the same thing keeps repeating here. The same thing. So here it becomes 3, 6, 9. In the next iteration, I becomes 3. So similarly, we get 3, 6, 9. I think that's the I think that's the best explanation possible for this. So let's change the values a bit. I think it will be more clearer here. Let's try with J equal to maybe like let me just copy this and just paste it together and I'll let it be there. Um, let's go with, let me just copy this, paste it here. Let me just change the J value and I'm going to loop it. I'm going to just start with 0 here for J and let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we got an error, I think, because we didn't comment this out. Right. All right. Now we will just save and see what happens. All right. Let's see. See, now you can kind of understand what happens here. Now we have the first, because J is 0, right? So I 1 into 0 becomes 0 here. That's why we got 0 value in all three cases. 0, 0, 0, 0. That's how it kind of works. That's a nested for loop. So thing to remember here is, I think, um, once it goes inside this second for loop, it keeps looping inside there until that becomes false. The condition becomes false, and then again it goes and checks the primary for loop, like the for loop that was declared before that. So again, if that condition becomes that is incremented, goes to the next value. Then again, until this this for loop condition becomes false, the program doesn't end. So that's how this for loop works. Oh, that's yeah. So nested for loop. That's a nested for loop. So oh, I don't know how many of you guys are watching right now, but anyway, please drop a hi if you're watching so that I can know. And if you have any questions, keep asking it. All right. So the next one we have is um for loop with step or stride. I don't think a lot of you have heard about this. It's not very that much common, but I think it's worth knowing this too. I think this word might be new here, step or stride, but that's not important. Just understand what happens. That's the most important thing. All right. So, uh, step or stride. All right. Some programming languages allow you to specify a step or stride for the loop, letting you control the increment or decrement of the loop variable. So I think the step or stride means like this one, I guess, right? So other everything is like the same for loop, but here we have like I plus equal to 2 instead of just incrementing, right? So we can control this. So suppose if it is like 3 here, it's gonna like go 0, 3, 6, like that, right? Just right, let's just run it here. Just run it here. Alright, let's see. Run this. So, as you can see here, yeah. So basically, just instead of just pure I plus plus incrementing, we can control like that. Like that's what the name suggests, right? Step was right. It just helps you like skip, right? So that was about the follow. Yeah, that's kind of the follow this. Let's move on. Then the next is while loop. All right, let's see. The while loop is used to repeatedly execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. So that's how it looks. This is the structure. Right, let's go here. Hmm. A while loop is a control structure that repeatedly executes a block of code as long as a specified condition remains true. The condition is checked before each iteration, and the loop stops once the condition becomes false. It is useful when the number of iterations is not known beforehand. So, if we don't know the conditions beforehand, like for example, if we don't know up till like here we do know we have to loop up till 10, right? Not up to 10, up till 9. It's less than that. So we have to loop up till 9. But what if we don't know up till how much we have to loop? So that's when I think for loop comes into picture. So I mean the for it's not the for loop, it's a while loop. So that's when the while loop comes into picture. So there's a condition. If it's true, it's true. If it's false, just end. So that's it. There is no like, you know, up till how much you have to wait. All right. So this is a basic for loop here. Uh, let me try this. So initialize count 0 runs while count is less than 5. All right. Then right. Then it's incremented, right? So that is a follow. That's a while loop. Um, these other use cases. Let's try this while loop that's given here. It's a basic while loop. Let's try this, right? Let's try this. Inside the program, first give the condition, not the condition, just initialize variable, and then just say because like in for loop, we cannot initialize it inside the for loop itself. So like we have to initialize it beforehand. We while give the condition count is less than 5. So it iterates up till 4, right? And inside that, we just say C out, cow, metal, and then return 0, return 0. So let's try this. Oh, this is an infinite. It just kept looping infinitely. I think we did something wrong. Okay. We didn't increment it. All right. All right. We forgot to increment. Anyways, count, count plus plus. All right. My system almost hanged here. Anyways, it happens. Let me just, yeah. So it just printed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what we needed here. So if you go into the application, or they say here, use cases of while loop, repeatedly ask for input until the user provides a valid value, processing data travels arrays, lists, or collections until the condition is met, continuously monitor events like sensor data or network requests. Yeah, it has quite a lot of applications. I think this one is quite important, has many applications in this area, especially in IoT devices and things like that. Uh, Implementing algorithms used in algorithms such as searching, sorting, and mathematical computations. State machines execute logic repeatedly until a state change occurs. Games and simulations run the main game loop to update state, process input, and render output. Batch processing, multiple tasks, files or records, etc., until all items are handled. Yeah, I think it's quite useful sometimes, although you won't use it like all the time because for loop is already there, but you might use it. There are cases where you have to only use the while loop, so it's very helpful there. So that's the while loop, and you have do while as well, which is slightly different from the while loop, but also like it's the while loop. So the while is a control flow statement found in many programming languages. It is similar to the while loop, but with one key difference. The condition is evaluated after the execution of the loop body, ensuring that the loop body is executed at least once in this article. Okay, so that's the do while. So it goes and goes into this do block, that is the body and the statements that are to be executed. And when while condition is true, right? While condition is true, then do this, right? And condition is false, just goes outside the loop. Execute the statement that's outside the loop. All right. Similar to the while loop, but on okay, that's what we saw. The syntax of a do while loop is also as follows. block of statement then the block is executed unconditionally for the process. So first time it runs irrespective of the condition, and from the second time it checks for the condition and runs until the condition is false. Condition becomes false. So that's the do while, right? The do while loop guarantees that the block of code will be executed at least once regardless of the condition. If the condition evaluates true, the loop continues to execute. If it evaluates false, the loop terminates. So that's what happens. Fundamental construction programming supported by virtually all programs. Slightly different in Python. Let's just go straight to C++. All right, so this condition executes first. So count equal to 0 is printed irrespective of this, right? Then the current value of count, see out count, and also count is incremented, right? But it's not printed at that, it's only incremented, right? So 0 prints first, and then after that goes into this condition, right? As long as count is less than 5. So this execute the first time irrespective of what this condition is, but after the first time it just keeps checking for this condition and executes the program until the condition becomes false. So yeah, here less than 5, so goes up till 4, count up till 4. That's pretty straightforward. Let's just write this here. Just do it here. So here we are saying do do this. This goes inside this here. Right, what happened? Okay, this goes inside here, and yeah, so that's what happens. All right. So let me see. That's right. Right. So let's check this. Yeah. So that's what happens here. Ends up in 4. So just to be clear, let us change this program slightly and see like What if we say here also to print, so we're going to say see out. Let us say right. Um Let us do something that executes only on the first time. Um, yeah. What if we do CL5? Let's see what happens here. I think this is going to be printing like every time. Let's try. Did it print it? Or did I not save it? It I did not save it. Let's try again. All right, so yeah, to check this, I think it will be more clear. It keeps printing high every time, and after this, yeah. So this is printed irrespectively. Oh, because it's always going to print, right? That makes sense. Yeah. And this thing is always going to be printed. Yeah. All right. So the first time when it runs, this runs by default, irrespective of what is given here. Right. All right. That was the do while. If you have any questions, please ask me in the chat. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions or just drop a hi if you are new and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think we are done with for loop, while, and do whiles. Let us, I think we are done for today. Almost we are done for today. Let us see what's next. What do we have next? I think we have. Uh, okay. We have jump statements next. All right. So we have break, continue, return, go to. So those are what is left. Uh, yeah, I think we can do those tomorrow. Let me know if you like this video. Uh, Share this video to your friends who you think could be helpful for. So I think our next videos will have these jump statements. Next live stream will have jump statement. Let me see. right? And after we complete the conditionals, I think we can go here. We have it. Origins start here. Check it here. All right, that's okay. We'll check it tomorrow. The next live stream. I think we'll go for the jump statements next. So let me know if you like this video, live stream, and share this live stream, guys, with your friends. So yeah, see you next time. So until then, yeah, bye. See you.